All right, so let's go. I love you guys. First, I want to say happy belated birthday to my grandmother, to my family. I love you dearly, man. Like, I want to tell you guys that time and your tribe is the most important asset. Please put that in chat. As you get older, one of the things that sucks, for those of us that are in our 30s, we then become the front line for our family. And sometimes as you begin to lose your elders, you wish that you would have spent more time and had more conversations and uh man, ate some of that fire cooking that your grandma or granddad made. So I want you to text your family members right now, and I want you to also call your grandparents um when the show is over, because it's crazy to think that I don't have any. So if you have yours, please reach out to them. um Man, this shit broke my heart. Rest in peace to my guy Lucky. um I went to know it. Like, Lucky was one of the most charismatic people I've ever met in my life. So, like, shout out to everybody from 219. I'm gonna do like a 219 thing, then I'm gonna move on real quick. But like, when Jilla and Skrilla was like the hottest thing on earth at the crib, and CCA and Grind, shout out to C. Lucky was the one, like, yo, Jill is the one. And I'm like, man, like, his love for rap music and entertaining everybody. He had one of the like most charismatic energies. Like, he was like Tupac-esque in that way. And I was coming back off the trip, and I saw my friends posting that he had passed, and I was like, man, life is so short. Like, and I know we say it at the end of every show, but I think we all, and me especially, we need to make more time to reach out to our friends, because you never know when the last time you'll be able to talk to them. So rest in peace to Derek Washington. Lucky, man, I love you. And to the family, please reach out to me. Love y'all. Disclaimer: please do not copy, remix, reproduce any of the material without written permission, because the lawyer gonna do the lawyer thing, and we don't want that. All right, y'all gotta quit playing. Get Market Mondays to number one and number two. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give away 1,000 Stock Club scholarships, 5,000 Snipers scholarships, and $10,000 cash to one lucky winner. Please put Market Mondays number one or two, please, in chat. I gotta incentivize y'all to do this. So in this week's episode of I Told You So, 70% of Warren Buffett's portfolio is concentrated in just 4 stocks. Everyone's like, how many should we have? 20. Listen, I can't tell you what to do. Consult your advisor. But if you want to run it up, you probably should only have 4 or 6. You can only know everything about maybe 5 to 7 companies if you're really good. If you do this for a living, maybe 15. But 6 is a sweet number. Please put 6 as the magic number. This brother put this amazing post on IG, and I had to share it. Time is what the wealthy acquire. Please put that in chat. Time is what the wealthy acquire. Majority of people think that wealth is about money, and it's not to be true. When actual money is time and time is wealth, cash is only 50% of wealth. I would argue a third, because wealth is health, cash, and time. Please put that in chat. Health, cash, and time. Dividends get reinvested or spent, and the principal amount should be designed and protected towards growth. Assets by time, by sourcing people's needs. The cash will buy us more time. So the number one reason I'm like, hey, don't worry about flipping. 200% sounds great until you have 2 or 3 kids, a mortgage, 2 car payments, and then you're like, man, it really wasn't enough. You want to, I'll tell you guys the big secret that I'll go into detail at InvestFest, which I'm gonna put on the show for. But you want to have your money working for you indefinitely, but I'll give you a hack on how to do that tonight. And somebody pointed out on Data Roma, and I'll do a full breakdown on this next week. But when I was talking about the ownership, so 723 for VOO, it was an ownership rank, not the number of people who owned it. So when I'm wrong, I have to come out here and do a little bit of straightening on myself. So if you go look at Square, you can see the ownership rank was really high. VOO was lower than Square. So I wanted to make that statement to make sure I got that corrected. A week or so ago, or 2 weeks ago, Amazon dropped to a really low price. And kudos to Stock Club. I gave you guys a great price. But I want to ask you in chat, did you use the 200-day moving average to get in on an Amazon drop? Write this down, please. Use 1 year and the day chart. So when I ask you, how long do you want to go out? Look at 1 year. Use the day chart as your way to get in. If you go look at it right now, that EMA would have put you exactly on the price of where to get in, and you would have probably had $3 or $4 worth of drawdown. So, because a couple Saturdays ago when I was on a call, people was like, well, I don't know how to get in. I'm going to break down all 5 ways to get in tonight, but I've given you more than enough ways to get in. Just use the ones that we give. 200 is one way. These are 11 tips to make your life better. And this is one Rashad has been stressing like hell for the last year, and I'm finally listening to. Network. Your network is going to be so key. It doesn't matter. And you've seen it in Kobe's career. You can be the greatest at whatever your endeavor or your field is. But if you don't network with the right people and continuously build that base, you're going to be at a disadvantage opposed to someone who is networking more. And you see Troy and Rashad going all over networking, kissing babies. They're going to be in Zimbabwe next week, then come back from Invest Fest. Like, you have to build that base of people. 2, get up early. If you want to be a millionaire or make $500,000 a year, you're not going to do it waking up at noon. I don't care what software you build, what kind of automation you have to get up early. Stay focused, watch less TV, read more books. I know some of you hate reading, but every damn secret that you want in life in a field has been written in the book. You have to dig through them. Avoid time wasters, invest in your health, take calculated risks, write down your goals, work smarter at scale, and do something that you absolutely believe in. Kudos to one of the stock club members. We talked about Moderna last week for getting 1,193% return on Moderna. If you have not invested in Moderna yet, please put not yet, but over the next 2 or 3 years, I think it would be wise for you to do so. Another person here got a 258% return on Moderna. And then from the free info, which we do every week, Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, which Kayla calls Bay, Bitcoin, ADA, and Ethereum. These are some nice gains. Ethereum has been running like crazy. If you've missed your spot, I'll be sure to give you guys a spot in ADA later today. Bitcoin recovered in 63 days. And I told you guys, and I know it sounded crazy, right? When I said that it will recover in 63 days, but this is the lesson that you have to know. Using your setup to get into the market, for every asset that you trade and every stock that you invest in, you have to know once it hits that low, how long will it take to recover? Grab your notebook. I can't show you my notes from Invest Fest. So grab your notebook, and for every stock that you're invested in, so I know you guys are going to listen and not go over 6. So on average, I want you to go through 5 years. And once it hits a dramatic low, how many days does it take to recover? You will have your own formula for Apple, AMD, TSM, NVIDIA, Starbucks, DraftKings, everything to know how long it will take to recover. That will also give you a guideline for how long you need to be patient in that stock. ADA, we called 103 before it hit. I went up. I'm going to go on the record again with the Dream Team and Kayla to say ADA, good acquisition target is 103. Please put 103 in chat. Next week, we're going to give you some exciting details. You know what? I'm going to launch it at Invest Fest. Come Sunday after Jim, and I don't want Jim kicking Styles and Styles pulling on Jim, but after they get done, I'm going to talk to us about collectively investing in crypto. No, there's no management fee, any of that, because I don't believe in that, but I'll reveal at Invest Fest how you can invest in crypto at scale with us. If you guys want a live trading room with the Dream Team, it's something we were talking about today. Put yes in chat, and if we get enough yeses, it's something we'll consider doing in the mornings on Mondays and Fridays. Crude fell apart like crazy last night. Now, I want you to take this in consideration because we talked about it last week when our esteemed guest from Investopedia was on. That fell apart. And then gold also had a flash crash. Now, they said it's partially because of technical reasons, which if you look at the all-time high and you draw fibs, which we talked about from high to low, gold did get to that 50% retracement and then kind of slid back, right? And they said there were some liquidity issues. But anytime you have 2 major assets like that fall within a 72-hour period, there is a bigger, more pressing issue that is there that is not being talked about. Please keep your eye on that because we could have a dramatic drop. Sunday, August 29th, when I present, I'm going to be going over long-term investing, swing trading, and day trading. I need to know from you guys, though, do you want me to cover more gems on long-term investing or more on day trading futures? This past Saturday, I spent 6 hours working on my outline. I was in the zone. I felt like Jada. I'm like, I got to get prepared. Like, I talked to Jamal and Shadi. I was like, yo, Jada put on a clinic. I got to be dialed in. I'm not going to wait till like 3 days before. Outline's done. But let me know if you want me to cover more of long-term investing or trading futures. And this is a great gem that I need you guys to hear from the legendary Tim Grover.
The greatest inner circle individuals are so small. Distance becomes their best friend. Distance from their competition, okay? Distance from others. Everyone tries to fit in a group, okay? You're growing up, I want to be part of this fraternity. I want to hang out with these people. I want to hang out over here. Who do you idolize the most? The ones that stand alone. The ones that create distance between you and the competition and everybody else, okay? You have all your friends that they may have all started off together. And what happens is when they know they can't keep up, okay, you create distance. You want them to come with you, but they don't have the ability to. They don't have the discipline. They don't have the sacrifice. So distance has to become your best friend in order for you to achieve the best at what you want to do. I know these are completely different thoughts than what other people tell you. Surround yourself with positive people. You know what that means? That means lie face so I can feel good about myself.
And I don't want you to cut off all of your friends on this journey, because we'll see those posts, hey, cut off the 5 people. Like, you have to keep your friends that are your day ones that have been supportive. But a lot of times we want support to go to where we need to go, but we don't want to do it alone. That's why when you guys are like, hey, I need an accountability partner, I'm like, no, you need to be accountable. Because if your trading buddy makes a $300,000 trade with you, they're not going to split half that money with you. I'm telling you that. This is the reason why most people fail. I thought this message was absolutely amazing.
The reason most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now. The reason most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now. If that was one message, it'd probably be that. Like, people don't fail because they're not talented or skilled or whatever. It's like you give up what you want most for what you want now.
And how many of us have ever given up what we truly want for the short term? We all have. Let's make the adjustment going forward. It's 2021. It's crazy. In 9 years, we'll be in a new decade. 2010s went by so fast. Let's make the choice to be dedicated and not give up the long-term goal for the short term. And then for men in your 20s, let your uncles and us give you some advice. Check these tips out real quick, and then we'll get back to the investing gems.
If you can give one piece of advice to a guy in his early 20s, what would it be?
Do not move out of your parents' house until you've saved up at least 25 grand. Make friends and don't date. Don't date. Travel. Move out of your hometown. Get very acquainted with a primary care professional. Get a therapist. Buy a gun and get really good at using it. Get a passport and get really good at using it. Go to a gym and work for an 8-pack. You really have nothing but time. Pick up a sport and get good at it. Stop eating like a damn Ninja Turtle. Drink water. Wash your ass daily. Buy 3 suits. A black one, navy blue, heather gray. Each one should be tailored. Buy life insurance. The younger you are, the cheaper it is. Most importantly, find and protect your peace. Remember that you were a man before her, you were a man with her, and now you'll be a man without her. Good luck.
No Kevin Samuels, but fellas, go ahead. I'll put this in Stock Club. I want to be on a record for this. And it's going to be salacious, and I know people are going to say that I'm wrong. The peak for Apple stock will be November 3rd, 2035. So a lot of you will be like, hey, when does it run? I know y'all gonna be like, dude, crazy. He don't know. And he's just making up shit now. I'm not. Apple's peak, November 3rd, 2035. I want to be on the record. Now, if y'all remix this, hey, which was a good album on the low. Shout out to Nas. But if you guys go copy this, I'm coming up to the station if one of y'all say this on TV. Love y'all. For those of you for futures, I know it may be difficult, but put this in chat. Your target for the bond market should be 33 ticks. Here's why. It takes the same amount of energy to hit a big target as it does a small target. The great thing is that ZB pays more. So kudos to this brother who hit his target, but with 7 contracts, and I want you guys to multiply 500 times 7. That was the initial investment into the market. The payout was $7,218.75. Great job. 33 ticks should be your primary target for Z and you. Accountability. At one point on the show, I said AMD would dip to 67.56. It didn't get there. It stopped at 72.50. The crystal ball was broken. I don't know if I didn't recalibrate it or I should have put it out when we had a full moon. Didn't get there. My bad. Sorry, I was off by a couple bucks. Ian doesn't know anything, right? So I want to be accountable and say that it didn't get there. But for those you got in the 70s, great job. And hold for the long term. Going forward, a good spot is 102.62 for AMD to hold long term, either 5 or 10 years. Put a 102.62 in chat, please. And kudos to my sis, Deborah. I've been telling you about it. She's been holding since 11 when it hit the all-time high. That's 11.13x from long-term investing only, no options. I want you to put in chat right now, long-term investing is the wave. Now, go ask any day trader that you know and ask them, have they made 11x on a trade? Most have not. You can get the same kind of gains long-term investing with a great setup that you can from day trading and have the money working for you at the same time. Once again, I want to say Squares is new JP Morgan. Please hold for the next 10 years. Here are the top 12 reasons that most traders fail, and please write this down. Most don't have good risk to reward ratio. So you want to risk 1 to make 11, write this down, or risk 1 to make 50. So if you're risking 2% of your capital in a trade, your target would then be 22%. Or if you're risking 2% and you want a 50x, you would be going for a target of 100%. If you stay within that ratio and you only take 48 trades or less per year, it's damn near impossible if you're trading with the trend to be able to hit the target. If you want a full breakdown, a great book on this is called The Complete Turtle Traders by Michael Covell. Go to chapter 5 and 6. If you read those 2 chapters and never deviate, you'll be fine. A lot of traders end up blowing up their money in their account going for a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio and taking too many trades. Number 2, most have unrealistic expectations. So when I ask a lot of you, like, how many trades are you going to take for the year? You like 800. I'm like, you can't take 800 trades on a year. You can't take 500 and at a high level. Rashad, Troy, like in your options, how many trades have you taken this year?
Oh, like 3. I probably did 3.
Yeah,
and you guys can say whatever you go ahead. Rashad, go ahead and say it.
No, not a lot for me. Not a lot.
And arguably, they're humble about it. I'll say it for them to not trade all day, every day, because they running all this other media and like they'll bust your ass. Trade selection is everything. Like, and if I can be honest with you guys, when you guys are like in my comments, like, well, you don't know and you can't do, I'm like, I know, and we'll get to the emotions part, but if you don't have your emotions in check, then therefore your trading plan is not in check. I know you can't beat me because you can't stop over trading. You know, the people that are really good at trading, like go watch Bonawyn's interview. Bonawyn did not care anything about what I said, what Troy said. He stick to his plan, put on that nice grin, go about his business. One of the greatest traders I probably ever encountered. Those that are good at their craft don't have to declare to anybody else. But if you can stay within a sweet spot of 24 to 48, you'll be good. Third, most can't manage emotions. If you can't, I'm telling you, fasting is the way to go, or do the 10 miles a day. Most don't do any research. You need to know the stocks or futures that you're trading like the back of your hand. I could tell you everything about ESCB, UB, crude, Russell, NASDAQ, Nikkei, Swiss franc future, up and down in my sleep. If I only had 1 hour of sleep, you need to know like the back of your hand. That is going to give you your edge. If you're undercapitalized, you need to take even less trades and then also work more to build more capital, because being undercapitalized puts you in a position to have to take riskier trades to build up your account. And that's only going to favor your broker. Most quit too early. I hate to say it. You're not going to be good in 3 months. Like, that's why I'll go back and show you. I was talking about this 12 and 13 years ago before it was cool. It's going to take you maybe 2 or 3 years to get really good. To be great, it may take you 5 to 7. It's like, none of you at 9 years old start playing basketball and be like, at 14, I'm ready to go to the league. As great as Mikey is, I don't think Mikey is ready for the NBA this season. And he's probably one of the greatest high schoolers ever, right? You have to get acclimated with the market enough to know what to do. But once you have that, not many will be able to beat you. Most undisciplined is the number one reason why people lose. Arrogance is a big factor in it, because it's not really about the indicator. It is about your risk to reward ratio. Please put in chat, risk to reward ratio is the greatest indicator of all time. Your RSI doesn't, you got like RSI. If RSI matters that much, take the charts off and just trade off RSI. When it gets to 30, watch how much you draw down. Short at 70 and see how well it does. Your risk to reward means everything. Delusion, for all of you who are like, hey, I'm gonna get 88,000% return in a year, highly unlikely. And then ego is the biggest reason why most people end up losing as traders. I figured I'd give some content before I get into the ad stuff, trying to give value first. If you want to join the stock club, you want the 4 best stocks for your retirement, the best growth stocks to invest in, the best places to get caught out in the market by me, the 2 best places where to buy, 28 bonus picks on a year, and additional entries from the algorithm Athena. You can click the link in chat. The fellas will put the link in there for Stock Club. If I've ever made you money with Stock Club, please put $sign in chat. For all of you that joined on the flash sale between the 1st and the 3rd, I appreciate you so much. If you have not gotten your login, please go to joinredpanda.com and the team there will be able to help you. I appreciate you so much. If you want to join a crypto club, you want the 5 safest cryptocurrencies to invest in, a bonus call with me and the dream team, the 3 best prices where to get in, 3 bonuses every month, and 3 surprise bonus picks on a year. You guys can go to the site and get it. We'll have a private trading retreat coming very soon, so we'll announce that soon. Trading After Dark will return in September. I miss doing that with you guys, and because you guys were asked some amazing questions about on every call. We normally have our stock club call at 9 p.m., but we're going to have it at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Subscribe to my YouTube. Once we get to 100K, we're going to do a big giveaway. So if you guys want these bonuses, let's run those numbers up. And I want to go into business with 10 people with 10 of the stock club members this year. So if you have a business idea or you have a business currently that you need an investor for, please send me a message in Telegram. If Red Panda's made you some money, please put Red Panda in chat, please. So if you guys had a big win today, please write this down. Only use 4% of the capital on your next 20 trades. Let the euphoria of your gains wear off. What happens, and we all get the big hit. Let's say we get a fire win on AMD. We get a fire win on Microsoft or TSM. And then we'll go to the deep end of the pool and be like, man, this one company in China has 28 customers, but it's going to be the new Tesla. And guess what we do? We take all of our money, we place it there, and we burn through a bunch of our capital. Risk mitigation is everything. Only use 4% of your capital once you have an amazing trade. This is a great quote that I want you guys to see. Many have ambition, few follow process. The process is everything. It didn't work in Philadelphia, but in trading, if you stick to your plan, I promise you, you will see the results that you want to get. Sticking to process without ambition will still lead to success. To successful outcomes. And you see it in us and how I execute and content. You see it in Troy and Rashad every week. You see it in Trap. You see it with John Henry's. You see it with Matty J. Like everyone, if you go through the posts and content, you can see everyone's following a similar plan to get to what their measurement of success is. And in trading, you have to do that to the team in investing. How to level up in life, help other people. And I hope that I've helped you. If there's anything I can do better or do more of to help you, please put it in chat. But I thought this was very poignant. Eventually, you'll help someone out who will help you back 1,000x. And that's true. Even in like the development of the media content that we do here on Market Mondays, y'all was giving shit out for free for a long time. Then we did episode 70. I'm like, great. Hope it went good. Shot him an idea like, hey, Rashad posted like, hey, we want to do some podcasts. I was like, yeah, right here. Right. But there was probably 9,000 people that I helped with investing before then. So you don't always get your blessings back from the people that you help. But sometimes when you give those blessings and help in advance, they'll come somewhere else. And that's a very big key to being able to level up. Who we are with is who we become. So select your friends carefully. When I was going through my notes, which I'm excited to give to you in full at InvestFest, this is one of the things that I went through and that I had to remind myself of. Like, so I want you to be very careful in the 5 to 10 people that you acclimate yourself with and surround yourself with to make life better for you. Angel investors and venture capital firms, please send me a note because I'm ready to begin investing in that space. But this is the only true way to assess the market. Please write this down. Number 1, you have to understand the macro environment first. So now with a possibility of a shutdown, I don't think they will shut down. But if we go through a shutdown again, stocks are going to float lower. Number 2, then you have to go through the fundamentals of the business. Then who are the biggest macro buyers? So right now, Vanguard and BlackRock are the biggest buyers of damn near everything in the space: real estate, stocks, derivatives, etc. Then technicals. Most people are debating fundamentals versus technicals. It's not versus, it is, you have to use both. So once you know what environment we're in, what the fundamentals are of a company, who are the biggest players that are going to prop those assets up Then you can get to technicals. Once you have that, it's incredibly hard to lose. So let's take Alibaba. Great company, good technicals, decent macro buyers. The macro environment in China is terrible. And then we saw 2 weeks ago, a bunch of Chinese stocks slid. So you have to have safety in all of these areas, these 4 areas, before a stock can be a buy for you. If that helped you, put yes in chat. And we talked about this last week, but I want to reiterate it again because it's the last time I'm going to say it. The stocks that you invest in long term should also be the ones that you trade. They should also be the ones that you swing trade. And they should also be the same ones that you have options on. People will say this is not good because you won't be diversified. Go Google right now Warren Buffett's quote on diversification. I'm going to be real. Anybody who knows how to invest well or trade very well, they are hyper concentrated. Hyper concentrated. You won't see a fund manager that has a bunch of money in the market who's very good at investing and trading have 90s or 50 positions. They're going to be leveled down to probably 12 or 13 max. The ones that do really well, probably 8. And I've said it before, you can only know everything about 5 to 7 stocks. Please put in chat, what are the 5 stocks that you know the most about? Once you have supreme focus, you can get supreme gains, which will help you build supreme wealth. And you have the right to do whatever you want to do and go about it a different way. But if you do, the results may not be that good. I want to stress the golden rules of retirement. Once again, I want you to spend a block of time, 4 hours with your family and friends, 4 hours working on the things that you love, 4 hours on your health, and then 4 hours on creativity. Please do not let people rob you of your time. Here are the 5 ways to get into the market. Please screenshot this. The 72 EMA, the 200 EMA, the 400 EMA. Now, the 400 EMA is like a proverbial low to boat area. So if it ever drops that low, that's where you can get in. Fibonacci retracements. We gave you a couple places, the 23.6 and the 50. Kayla, don't worry, I won't give out our custom levels. And then the yearly open. I also gave away another one on the Mark Cuban episode that I swear I would never talk about again. And then also, one way that we always talk about, and Rashad brings it up probably every episode, dollar cost averaging, or just think of it buying every month. So 2 Saturdays ago, people was like, hey, I don't know how to buy. Here it is. But even if you do nothing else, but just buy the ones that you love, that you know are going to do well every month, you will be good. But stop thinking that you need more information to be able to execute and buy because you have everything that you need. What is going to happen? What I don't want to happen is from 2021 to 2025, you miss out on investing and you look back and be like, damn, I could have been retired now had I been adding to these positions every month. Because I'm going to tell you, when Rashad gets to that number or Troy gets to that golden number, hey, I don't know, maybe Jamal will do the interviews, but hey, they get to a certain number, it's going to be over with. The safest stocks. Hey, it's been earned. So I'm just telling you, please invest. Safest stocks, once again, Google, NVIDIA, Shopify, Twilio, ILMN, and Intuitive Surgical are amazing. The dividend stocks that are like Lowe's, Costco, McDonald's, Nike, Visa, Starbucks, and of course, Apple gives a small dividend as well. So please screenshot those. Now, this is a secret that I want you guys to know, and I will not even talk about this at InvestFest. So I'll talk about it here and be done. You need to use your day trading setup to get into your long-term positions. This is for my traders who really trade. So if you trade off the 15-minute or the 30-minute, right? Or let's say even the 4-hour, opposed to using the daily chart to get into, let's say, a Microsoft, Apple, VOO, VTI, VGT, that's the scholarship, Microsoft, AMD, NVIDIA, right? TSM. Look at the high time frame as step 1 for true direction. Once you know true direction, you know which way to go. Then you want to look at the day chart. If there's upward movement on the day chart and there's a bunch of green candles, you're good. Then look at your day trading time frame. So let's say you're trading a 72 and a 20, and you're doing a golden cross. So when a 20 period moving average goes above the 72, you want to buy, but instead of trading it, and I know you get more margin if you do intraday trading, but you need to build your base so you can have wealth. Use the 15-minute or the 20-minute or the 30-minute to get into your positions long-term, and you can hold those for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. The purpose of becoming a day trader is to become a great investor where you get sharper entries. And the reason to be a long-term investor is for wealth, but it also helps you see the macro picture better. A lot of you can't trade well because you have nothing long-term going. So you don't know what true direction is. It's not in a 5-minute candle. But if you do a 15-minute chart and then you start with the highest time frame, which I told you already, then you execute on the 15. Voila. You'll get the joy and euphoria of day trading and the back end benefits of wealth. If any of you have ever day traded a stock or an option and you wish you had it for 6 more years longer, please put 6 years longer in chat. I want to give you a site that I love to be able to research stocks and give you some ideas. So go to Wall Street Zen. I want you to then click on stock ideas, and then you can click on dividends. You can click on founder-led companies, but the area that I really like is exceptional growth. If you go through this site and dig through really deep, you'll probably have 40 or 50 different stocks in which you can analyze and add to your watch list that will help. Absolutely amazing. There's a fee for it, but even the free version is absolutely amazing. Go to Wall Street Zen and you'll knock it out. I'm going to say this. Please listen to every episode if you want to be rich. I think we've answered and covered almost everything that we could. But if you go back in particular, listen to both of Bonowin's episodes, listen to the Mark Cuban episode and the Mike Novogratz episode and start there, you will have everything that you need. Only thing that you need to do there is then execute. Here's some lessons from Peter Lynch that I think are incredibly important. So you want to look for a company's cash position on the balance sheet. A strong cash position affords a company the financial stability and can represent a built-in discount for investors on the stock, right? That is so key. Lesson number 2 from Peter, the debt factor. Check to see if the company has a significant long-term debt on its balance sheet. If it does, this could be a considerable disadvantage when the business is good or bad because it can't pay the interest expense back. So those are 2 factors in the macro of the fundamentals that you're doing that you want to consider when you are evaluating a company. And some of you have been asking me, because of the drop that we had in China, is this the death of Chinese stocks? No, but it's clearly the main reason why I've been saying for weeks that I do not love the space. I think Alibaba's amazing. I even think Tencent should probably be way higher than what it is, but because of the macro environment there and the way that the country and the continent is run, it's kind of scary to invest there. There are some great swing trades there, but long term, I would not touch Chinese stocks yet. Will we shut down again? I don't think so. But probably some states will. Will it have an effect on the market? Yes, we'll probably have a 3 or 4% slide as a result. It'll be a great opportunity, buying opportunity for some. And if you can hold on for 6 months, you will be okay. Are there any Chinese stocks that I like right now? No. How do you buy stocks without using a calculator? So please write this down. You can do 90% off, 75% off, 50% off, and 10% off. More likely than not, you want to set your prices at 50%. So if the company gets cut in half, you never have to worry about charting. You never have to worry about charting at all. So you don't have to pull it up and be some great technician in order to be able to get the gains that you want and get into the companies that you want at a great price. But this is the formula: 90% off, 75, 50, and 10. That's all that you need. The biggest lesson and a lot of revelations that I've had since my birthday, but for men in particular, the biggest lesson that served me, and I've had this conversation, shout out to my guy Dom, we were having before, like, everything in my life is my fault, good or bad. And fellas, the quicker that you pick that up, the easier life will go. Like every interaction, every encounter, back in the day when I closed out Zoom on accident that one time because I got excited because the presentation was like, everything is my fault. Once you have that extreme accountability, and if you go look at Jocko Willink's book, that will help you a ton. Once you begin to have extreme accountability like that, things will begin to go in your favor. Where would the next big IPOs come from? And I'll give you a secret that I always look at. I need you guys to go look at Y Combinator and go see that the companies that they have invested in that have eventually went public. There are a couple VC firms. They are one of them. Sequoia is another. If you want to know the companies that are going to IPO in 2025 and 2027 that are going to be amazing, you need to look at Y Combinator and Sequoia first to see what their track record is and dig in there. In this era, I would be I will kindly and peacefully remove myself from any person, thing, entity that wants to argue, excluding no one. The one thing that I want us to do as a community is not, we can watch verses, but I want us to stop engaging in drama, taking in any media, which is a part of our diet that is not healthy for us. And Troy is a great example of this. Like, Troy's house can be on fire. I'm like, bro, how you did, bro? It's all good. God bless. Like he really lives that Troy Joy thing to the fullest. And I want you guys to take that in, because the more peace that you have into your life, the more prosperity that you're going to be able to let in. Piece of advice: heal any traumas that you're dealing with now for more inner peace. If you need therapy, if you need to remove yourself from certain things, please do so. Please do so. Put in chat, I deserve peace and happiness. I want everybody to put this. Because a lot of times, some of the gains that you want to have from the market are not coming because of all the turmoil. I've talked to some of you, and you may be engaging in arguments with family and friends every single day. And you're like, man, my trades aren't going well. I can't concentrate to get into the market. I'm like, it's hard to have productivity and peace in a vacuum of toxicity. It's tough. And I want you to take this to heart. Don't give too many. And it's something I learned from Troy. Like, Troy, anytime I get to tripping, they'll straight me, and Rashad asks too, like, hey, just stay focused on the mission. Everything is going to work out. And I'm going to say this as I wrap up. Man, I've given you guys 6 ways to get into the market. Please put in chat what is your favorite. If you watch this show more than twice, you have everything that you need to get into the market. You don't need my blessing. You don't need Troy's blessing, Rashad, Jamal, shout out Mike. Like, you don't need anyone's blessing. If you've done your research and you use that 72, 200, 400 fib, a dollar cost average, and you have everything that you need. You just need the confidence to just push the button, buy at the price in which you've written out beforehand, and you will be good. What are my thoughts on coin? Actually, I like the probability of Coinbase going up. I'll give you guys a price because I know you're going to ask. If it gets back to 230.01, I like it. And 218.36, I like it. I would not go too heavy past those prices, but at those prices, I think it's a pretty solid bet. A mentor of mine told me to use my money to start a business first instead of investing. Do you agree or disagree? Unless you have an amazing business idea and you have amazing business acumen, yeah, I think you should always invest first, because let's be honest, it's hard as hell to acquire customers. What keeps you calm when a stock is going to drop? This is my favorite method for staying calm. I write my prices in a journal like this when the market is up before I get in. It gives me salvation to look at that and like, once it comes to that price, I'm good. And then I close out the computer after the trade has been entered. Here's a freebie I told you guys about FICO, and I posted this in 2019. You can add Moody's to your long-term portfolio as well in unison with. And I know some guys at the Earn Your Leisure brand said this before. Networking can get you into doors that degrees cannot. The biggest thing I think that especially if you're an introvert entrepreneur, it does not matter how talented you are. If you do not know how to network, it will be the biggest detriment to your business. Like, and I know some of you that may be aspiring to do the same thing as Troy and Rashad, you may be like, hey, man, I got the same camera and the same lights. Why is it? But you don't see, and that's why I tell you guys, like, when people are out, don't think that they're just partying. That's why I asked them Saturday. I'm like, how do you guys get on a call at 9 o'clock in the morning? And I know you were out working before. It's a part of the gig too. So even for my introverted traders, investors, you still need to network, because the connection that you need may come from a person that you don't know. And 3 lessons that I wish that I would have applied that I'm going to apply going forward. I want you to reach out to a few people every day. I want to tell you this amazing story about Ari Emanuel from Endeavor. Probably one of the greatest agents in Hollywood's history, but for years, for decades, every morning, starting, I think the lesson was at 5 o'clock, he would reach out to like 30 people, 30 of his clients every morning for decades and say, hey, are you good? What do you need help with? It may not have the biggest benefit in the first 20 days, but what do you think after 2 years? Because let's be honest, we all do business with people and we don't hear from them until it's time to pay. How does that make you feel? But if people are constantly checking on you, it makes a hell of a difference. Reach out to family and friends every day, and then send out thank you cards and or gifts every single day. It will have a tremendous impact on you. Time is what the wealthy acquire and is the only non-replenishable asset. So the money part, especially if you're struggling, I know it's hard to hear. The time is more important because you need the money now. But I'll tell you, when you go to a funeral, and I've said this before, you won't be thinking about money, investing, business, any of this. You would have just wished that you had more time with the people that you love. In late 2018, Roku fell from $73 to 27 bucks. Those who sold missed out. I have to tell you, please hold for 10 years or 30 years for a maximum gain. Please put in chat, long-term investing is the wave. For my entrepreneurs, you need 28 streams of revenue. I found this fascinating. And I'll talk about this more next week in Summit InvestFest, but the Vatican itself owns 5,000 properties. So when people are like, hey, 4 revenue streams is not enough, look at what the biggest entities are doing, not what people on Instagram are saying. Marijuana. This is not financial advice, but if you are a big believer in marijuana, now is the time to start building the base before national legislation could possibly go through in 2031. This will be a good time to build a base. Now, I'm not 100% certain in 2031 it will get passed nationally, but soon come. So if you're a believer in that space, go ahead. And I want to end here. There's never a next. People are always going to say a company is going to be the next Apple, the next Tesla, the next EYL, the next Master Invest. There is no next. You have to find the company. If it's even Robinhood, I know people don't like Robinhood, but they make investor easier for millions of people. There is a reason that the stock is moving the way that it has. And honestly, I haven't seen that kind of excitement behind a stock in a long time. At IPO, probably since Facebook. Coinbase is similar, but I don't hear people talking about Coinbase in the same fashion, which they do Robinhood. So when you guys are like, give me the next AMD, the next NVIDIA, they are going to be as different. The new thing is going to be as different as the iteration before. There is no new Microsoft. There's no new Apple. There's no new me, no new EYL. There's no new Moderna. You have to find the next thing in the space. And that's why I say, if you go read Y Combinator, Sequoia, Calicanus, those in that angel space and those in that VC space, it'll give you the breakthrough that you need in order to find the company that will be that next it thing in 2035 and 2040. Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Put your favorite gem in chat. Love you. And I miss doing this live, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If not, I'm going to go back to recording. Love y'all. Over and out.